and how am I going to get this back down again? And you just keep working and working at it. Like the next person, you don't give up. And I think some of us, we try things for a month or 2 months and we just give up on it. You got to keep the rotation of trying different things. So my tactical plan now is to continue to let myself soak, clear it, try this permethrin and something like a wild-crafted pear clear or however you guys can do that. Get the bowels moving, keep the bowels moving 2 or 3 times a day to keep that stuff flushed out and build up the immune system.
I was reading an article where there was a guy that was talking about in the event if you exhaust permethrin, that there's another, I guess it's called a Midas, right? Called Alethrin. I never heard of it before.
Okay.
Have you heard of it before? And
have you posted it? Did you post the article?
No, I haven't done it yet. Because I was actually reading about it. And I guess it comes in certain insecticides also, too. I guess they put it on Raid and whatever other ones out there. But I heard that you can actually buy it just straight. But this guy that was actually did the posting said that it was working for him. Because he, we already know that after he used permethrin for so long, it just stopped working, unfortunately. So he would alternate it from permethrin to alethrin. And, yeah, I was going to ask you, Ginja, when you talk about how you're into, you're in the water, you know, you're doing water therapy and all that. So as I'm sweating, like if I'm in the sauna, and I'm sweating and these things are coming out, I have that towel and I'm wiping them off. Of course, to do it responsibly, I'm not going to be infecting anybody, you know, either, because no one's in there pretty much most of the time when I'm there, and this to get so hot.
You don't need to worry about that, because I'm going to tell you right now, some people's body is not going to affect. Some people are not going to have, I mean, it's just not going to be there. I mean, it's not going to stay on them long. It's something in their chemistry, I'm telling you, with hormones. That's not my issue with hormones. I have fibroids. So that's what caused my anemia issue. That's what put my system in a whole tailspin. These things are attracted to me based on my hormones. So until I correct my hormone issue, which means I need the surgery, which means I'm working on my 50 pounds I need to lose, then that's not going to reverse the intoxication of the hormone part, okay? And the blood issue, which I have too. So we got to look at what is causing these things to be attracted to us. It's like I said, it's the adverse conditions that is happening within the body that's going against homeostasis. And so they amp up their production because you're in every environment. The environment are the worst. You know, and then you've got the birds and the rats, they're on every animal in every environment, okay? And how I got introduced to them was by some freaking bed bugs, okay? So they're on bed bugs too, then bees, they're in every environment. They're parasites, you know?
So, I have to totally agree with you, and like I said, I always say this, if you look at taking public transportation in a different perspective, I love taking I love taking public transportation. Out here in Los Angeles, you get the subways and the buses and all that, but they don't clean it. The city doesn't clean it. So I'm thinking, God, I mean, you stand on a bus or on the subways, and you have to hold on to these bars to keep going. You you don't know you don't know the person that was previously holding on to that bar if they were infected. You know, so I totally believe that people can have it without knowing. I totally believe that there's freaking bugs all over, whether it's rat mites or some type of odor mite, which they would, the CDC had their solution with that medication, that dewormer that they have for cattle, that long range where it's in your system for 100 to 150 days. If they have something like that for individuals that are crusted, be the solution. Because it's inside you long enough to kill off the whole life cycle. Why haven't they not done it for us? For humans, I don't know why. Possibly because they won't be making money off of it. I mean, it probably would make a lot more money off of people that are continuously suffering than having just having an antidote to get rid of it, and then there's more money after that. But I'm, on the same quest that everybody else is in, of getting cured.
Well, you know what? Another thing, because you're not sweating when I'm sorry to interrupt you. But you were talking, I have to say things when I think it because of my head injury. I'm sorry. But you were talking about not sweating. Go in the sauna.
Oh, yeah, I'm always in the sauna.
That's when your sweat glands going again.
Yeah, it's everyday routine for me. I have to. And there's times I can go to the sauna and nothing's coming. And I'm cool with that. But it is just pretty much like it's with the eggs hatch. Because like today, it's been minimal for me because I have permethrin all over me. You know what I mean? But within the next couple of days or whatever, eggs can hatch and it can pretty much start up all over again. I'm tired of it. I want it to be done. Another question. When you said that you spray your car down, what are you actually spraying your car down with?
When I first got a car, I was using borax. I realized, of course, just wasn't getting it enough. When I was in Oregon, I didn't make the connection because I wasn't using borax. I was using DE, and I was using Biffin, the IT. I got net. That helped. Okay. Well, when I moved back to Ohio, I bumped it up to buying. I didn't buy the transport micron, which is the same thing they use for bed bugs. What I did was use, you can get the ortho room defense, that's the 5% business. You can get a 7% of Tractor Supply if you want to get that. If you want to get the 28% business, then you have to get that on Amazon or do my own pest control or something like that. But those are the ones that I was off. That was before I realized that you had to spray these things between 3 and 5 days. I was spraying once a week and didn't understand. So what I did was, like, say if I spray one day, I might wait on the 3rd day and then I'll put down borax or some type of dust. And then I'll sweep that up, okay? And it's usually borax that I'm using in the car because DE is, once it's down, that stuff is hard to get out. Not a problem, but it's just, hard to get out. But after that, then maybe I'll go another 3 more days, sweep that up, and then I was, it's leather seat. One car is leather seat. Then the other one has a different type of fabric that it was just black specks were on. The bugs were not on that fabric. So I think they have a choice in fabrics that they like. But another thing, I was taking the Clorox and the Lysol wipes, and I was wiping down, seats constantly. After I wipe it down, I don't care. I'm still coming back in before I leave and go in the house. I'm spraying with like peppermint clove or some kind of combination with witch hazel or alcohol or peroxide, something to bake them. What I really need to do is get a 35% hydrogen base and put some essential oils in that and spray that down. And if they're on the surface or on me or something, just let it sit on there for a little bit and start to come out. Your goal is to get them and push them out of the skin. Even if they're coming in your environment, then that's when you want to come in with the chemical and to spray. Now, as far as chemicals, these ones I do know that don't work. It's onslaught. You go on and do my own pest control, they talk about onslaught. Onslaught does not work. My housing place I used to live at, we had a guy come out, he sprayed that, or he sprayed it and I asked him to do the fogging. They said they did it, but I don't believe them. It maybe worked for one day. It killed 3, and that was it. That wasn't going to help me. It killed 3, and at that time I had 5 bites. So killing 3, then guess what? They still can go back in and start reproducing again.
Once they're in you, they're definitely
okay. For your house, if you want to get your house started, how do you? If you want something to knock them down. So I would say personally, this is what I use. Do you got carpet in your house?
I got rid of mine. I got rid of it. It's all wood floors now, but
well, what I'm about to tell you will leave a smell. But one of the biggest things you can do is constantly air out your house to get rid of it. What I read online is I started looking up ornamentals. I looked up for chemicals for mites, okay? I didn't put in any particular kind of mite, I just put in mites. So knowing that these are environmental, predatory, or whatever, parasitic, they don't list it under that. They don't list it up under a chemical for scabies mites. They don't list anything under that. So you know what I went with? I went to Walmart and got the green bottle. It's called Ortho Malathion. It's the stinkiest stuff that smells like rotten eggs you ever heard of in your life. I mixed that with permethrin. Certain chemicals cannot be mixed together because some can cancel out the other and not do nothing. So it's an ornamental, and what that means is what they use to spray on plants, like mice on plants. So I can't remember the article. If I can find it, I am it to whoever wants it. I'm not going to post it because it talks about plants. And some people may not get it, and they didn't in skin mites when I had that. So I just forget that. I'm not going to post that. But anyway, what I did was I took Malathion is 50%. So you don't need a full cap full. You just need maybe when you put the yellow lid, when you take it off, all you need is that first level. That mixed with whatever your recommended is for permethrin. Mix one in water, then agitate it, then put the other one in, put the rest of the water in, and agitate it. Shake that stuff up, spray it out of the house for about 5 hours, do whatever you're going to do. Just do it early in the morning. Make sure you have cleaned your house. That means vacuum. You can
that's a poison cocktail bomb. But yeah.
I'm telling you, I vacuumed. Well, I came off for 3 days. Like 3 days, you could start and do your dust or your borax or however you want to do that, or baking soda. Whatever it is you want to do, put that down. You can do a bomb, whatever it is. Do your dust, whatever. Vacuum up your floor, whatever. Clean your house like you normally would. It's better that way, because when you come back, it's already clean. You already put your chemical down. You don't have to do nothing. So clean your house, do whatever you gotta do with that room, and then plan, okay, so I'm gonna do this the next day. Get up bright and early, tackle your floor, your corners, your ceilings, your wall, everything that you can think of, and move out backwards. Like you're moving, like you're spraying from the front and you're moving out backwards like you're going towards the door. That means, you're hitting the walls and the ceiling and everything. And I'm telling you, in 24 to 48 hours, you will see a knockdown with that shit. But so when you come home, you're going to have to air the house out for quite a while and make sure you ask other people, do they smell that smell? Because when that smell starts to build up, if you've got carpet, the carpet will have to be replaced. They would not come and replace that carpet. They said they were going to steam it. Another thing is you can be being attacked by dust mites too, So you never know. For people who got carpet, that's what I'm finding out. It could be dust.
Yeah, originally in the beginning, I thought I was getting bit by the fleas. I'm thinking, where in the hell are these fleas coming from? And I bought everything, shampoos, the carpet, and it wasn't working. My nightmare began also with the scalp, and they went in my ears. It was horrible. And I kept on going to the doctors. I had a really crappy medical group in the beginning. I kept on telling them, I said, well, I feel like there's bugs crawling in my ears. And they would stick their instrument and stuff like that. It was fine, put me on with me. You're okay. I said, but I put bugs crawling in my ears. And they said, well, you'll be okay. Let me give you some type of antibiotic or whatever, just a drop or whatever. It didn't work. I tried multiple. Oh my gosh, I've been pouring straight vinegar in my ear.
You bake it with pasta? You didn't put pasta and let it sit in your ear?
I put pretty much everything that I could think of and imagine. After doing research on the internet, of course, I bought pretty much every ear solution out there that was made for dogs, and I put it in my ears. I couldn't get rid of it. And I kept on going back to the doctors, crying to them, saying, pleading with them, look, there's bugs in my ears. I can feel them. And unfortunately, the medical group that I had, even though primary doctor, I never really got to see her. But I saw every other doctor that was part of that medical group, and they all pretty much told me, you're fine, you're okay. So eventually got to the point where I kept on bugging. I didn't waste time doing appointments. I just walked in. I was doing walk-ins all the time. And until I finally was able to get over my primary, and I was telling her, look, something's coming, blah, 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 blah. And she pretty much just dismissed me as delusional. I was mad. The next time I went went back, they had guards, their security escorted me out, and they were saying I was crazy. And I was really mad, but I knew I had a problem, but nobody believed me. I had bite marks, but they looked like flea bites. They looked like flea bites. And after they bit me, saw a flea bite, and then it went away, but I felt the things crawling on me. So,
what did they give me?
I have to get them out of your ears, JoJo, because I have them really bad in my ear. I'm going to die.
You know what? I'm not going to say it happened overnight. It took me years. And even as of today, sometimes I might feel a blood corner in my ears. I get a Q-tip and I start getting permethrin. I start dabbing the permethrin on that Q-tip and I shove it in my ears, switch it around, spin it around, and I leave the Q-tip in my ear probably for about an hour or whatever. The crawling stops, and I'm assuming it's killing him. And, and all it's quiet for a while. Still happens again.
Yeah.
So,
Here's another oil that helped me for my ear. When I was in Oregon, that's when I got diagnosed. I went to a dermatologist. His name is Mark Williams. He's a physician assistant in between Corvallis and Salem. And he said, "Oh, you have scabies." Him and the doctor came in. And she said, "Oh, this is a common thing out here. We see this pretty." I'm like, "Oh, wow." All the way from Ohio. People don't know shit. And they're telling me everything's fine. And you guys just diagnosed me in one set. I mean, they went over my body and looked and whatever and just said, "Okay, this is what we believe to be." I said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Are you sure with that?" Because I thought I still had bed bugs. Like, I thought I was bringing bed bugs with me or something, and I didn't know what the hell was going on, and that's like, "No, you have scabies." I was like, "Okay." So, use the medicine. They give you the two little pills. 2 little pills is a drug, okay? So, when he said, "Well, then maybe that's not what you have, because if you had it, then it should have killed that and bed bugs or anything." And he said, "If you still got what's going on." And then I had to realize after a while, after I got back to Ohio, I had a resistant type. And nobody understands that these things are a different type of breed than what's been studied back in the 1700s all the way up to 2010, okay? This is just a different breed of Mother Hubbards that's been put out. I don't care what no one says. CDC, NIH, World Health Organization, they know what these things are.
Yes.
Okay, because they took them right over there over the seas when they was having the war during Desert Storm, okay? And I know a guy who said whatever they dealt with over in that freaking war, he had a hell of a time getting rid of, because he lives next to a depot, an army depot. I don't know if they must not have sprayed off their Humvees when they came or whatever he said, but them things, he said, I don't know what all they had over there, but it was because you got to realize in the desert there's a lot of stuff we don't deal with. But they also got that mess over there too. So online, when I went to do my own pest control, one of the things they said that helped them was Tempo. So Tempo is another chemical.
in the military, when they issue the clothing and all that, I think it has permethrin in the clothes.
I think permethrin, but I think you got to put stuff in rotation. Whatever you're going to do for your house or wherever you're at, you're going to have to put something in rotation every 3 to 5 days. You're going to have to switch it up because you don't want them getting used to nothing. That's what that article said about the ornamental and the mammal thing. You have to put something in rotation. It can't just be mammal. It's going to have to be that. The Tempo, sayonara is supposed to be another one. And then there's another one, I can't think the name, Suspend or something. I haven't tried those other 3. I haven't tried the Tempo, the sayonara, Suspend, but I will be getting them just in case, just to keep in my garage. Just in case, because I just went and sprayed down my garage with permethrin because there's spiders out there. And I've been using pest strips to make sure I keep that population down for taking their stuff up to repopulate my house, with the clothes, that's been sitting there since 2015 in the storage. These things are taking over, and people don't know it.
Yeah, well, like I said, in the beginning, I thought the flea bites. So people, there's a lot of people out there thinking they're getting bitten by fleas, but guess what? They're not getting bit by fleas. They're getting bit by bites.
Okay, what I'm starting to get into here now is going to start talking about the Morgellons, and trying to get together with some other people who are not from the medical industry. They're just people that have been suffering with Morgellons and other related diseases, because I guess that's what they are, parasites. And I coincidentally came across some of these people that I've been playing these clips of on one of your channels. One of my subs channels had them on there. So I started going into them and started listening to them this morning and doing some shit around the house. And they're really close. They're like really, really close. They're only missing, some of them are only missing a few generations of might. And they're right. That's why I'm playing all these chemtrail clouds and chemtrail videos as I'm playing this audio. Number one, I want to see if I'm going to get copyright strikes on the audio, so I'm not going to go too crazy with it. And I'm going back and using some of my series just to play through the chemtrails and the chemtrail clouds while we're listening to all these people and their testimony who are suffering with Morgellons and skin mites, scabies. And I'm going to get into it. I'll put it down on paper for you, what I've found myself and what I can see. And I will just say this for the time being is, as we're watching these and listening to all these people talk, think about the spider mite. When you see the webbing and things like that going on, and if you're not dealing with a worm, if it's not a worm-like, creature, because some people are dealing with that as well, and there are names for all these different things. That's why I'm playing these through. It's probably going to take me a good 5 to 10 parts of the Tripping Sponge series to just to get people warmed up to the idea of what I'm about to tell them, and then it can be put into play along with all these other people that are going through these things, and some of them have been suffering 15, 20 years. But it's good to hear the testimony. It's good to hear about, the signs building up to it. A lot of people are not even thinking about it. 5, 10 years goes by, and they don't even realize that they have these things. And there are a lot of different forms. You might have heard one of the girls in the earlier clips talking about them being a hybrid. She's worried about being looked at as a conspiracy whack job, but she shouldn't be. She's speaking the most direct and making the most sense of anybody I've listened to so far. Although a lot of these people do have good advice on how to get rid of these things. So I'm going to keep going through with these and keep playing them over the next few days and try to build up to what I'm going to show you guys about the Morgellons. Morgellons disease, skin mites, and all the other mites for that matter, because you can actually track them. The bird mites, the scale mites that are in the birds. Some people, there's so many different types of bird mites. The chicken mites. Then you have the animals running around with the ear mites and the skin mites. Cats going in and out of the houses. Dogs going in and out of the house. You have your lawnmower coming in, your weed whacker, and your equipment. A lot of people going into their garage. People come in from mowing the lawn, and it's all over their pants and their clothes. They throw them in the laundry. It happens fast. And where it's all stemming from is because it's a controlled environment. And the same douchebags that are controlling the weather are the same douchebags that are throwing all this into our system. They don't have to go over and pour shit in the water, because it's all being done throughout the trails, throughout the skies. And I've been here for a year now showing people the imagery that are in the clouds, the trees, the moon, the landscape, trying to show people the EMNC and the electromagnetic nanocarbon system. And it's these 5 triangular shapes. I'm going to maybe put it back up to 6 triangular shapes now that I'm going back to a 6-pointed star. A lot of that's I'm going to be able to show you a lot of that. The electromagnetic ability of these mites, what we call mites. You think of all the mites, right? The dust mites. People have cobwebs in their house. They think they're from spiders. Think of spider webs. They're not. it gets dissed and it gets turned down because they put a nasty name on it, scabies. The name scabies, ugh, you know, it grosses you out. And going through this process is a fucking very gross thing. But what's happening is, I've noticed it myself, is that a lot of people have it already, and they either are in denial about it, even after they're told. Other people have had it for years and don't even realize they've had it. And if somebody tells them, they'll just deny it. It takes something else happening in the environment for people to even find out that they have it. If one of their animals have it, then what'll happen is they'll wash the animal, and then all of a sudden, whatever they're using will start giving them a breakout, and they'll start noticing. A lot of different things come into play when people start noticing, and they think, "Oh, this just happened to me." No, no, it's been going on for a long fucking time. And we've been lied to about every fucking thing. So be ready for some more reality, everybody, because I'm going to bring you a little bit more reality. A lot of people out there, I'm glad to see, are trying to bring us this reality. But the human population, a big human conspiracy, because it's not a government conspiracy. Everybody you know looks up in the skies and sees these fucking chemtrails dumping shit all over our skies. So every one of those family members and friends that you know that have denied you of this, as you've watched them and pointed at them over the last 15, 20 years, and you say, "Do you see the fucking trails? Do you see?" And they say, "No, you're a nut job and you're whacked out and everything." We can't keep listening to these people. We just have to go around them. They're actually fucking zombified morons, and don't even, you know. Unfortunately, you're gonna have a hard time with labeling that, because they're your family and your friends, people you work with, coworkers, everybody. You know, they're all fucking zombies. So anybody that is truly on the awakening, the real story of Morgellons, some people are touching on it, and I'm gonna keep going through that again, like I said, over the next few days or whatever. I'll keep adding these videos, and I'm just going to play some of my series in the background to see if they even take. If they don't, I'll figure out what I'm going to do next. But and we'll put it all together, and I'll show it to you. And then, you know, again, the way I mark my videos, if you come to these videos, then you're going to have to share them with others, because otherwise no one's going to even find them, unfortunately, because of the way that I mark my videos. I may end up changing that up later, but then again, with some of the other channels that I've started, we'll go into that. All right, I'll be right back.